It is 3 a.m. You wake up for no reason. And there, sitting on your chest in the dark, perfectly still, is your cat. Watching your face, not your hands, not the door, your face. And here's the part nobody tells you. In that silence, sleep scientists have proven your cat is not guarding you. It is not bored. It is running a program. And the program has an output. Tonight, we are going to take you inside that stare. Why a creature that sleeps 16 hours a day is wide awake at the worst possible hour. What its brain is actually doing while it watches you breathe. And the specific ancient calculation that researchers traced to the exact same neural circuit a wild cat uses on prey in the last quiet minutes before it commits to a kill. By the end, you will understand why that silhouette at the foot of your bed has always felt a little bit wrong. Start with the contradiction. Your cat sleeps 12 to 16 hours a day. Some adults push 20. By every measure, it is one of the sleepiest animals you will ever share a home with. So why, with all those hours available, does it choose 3 a.m. to be awake and locked onto you? The answer is a word: crepuscular. Your cat is not nocturnal, and it is not diurnal like you. It is wired to peak at the two seams of the day, dawn and dusk. The exact windows when the small animals it evolved to hunt are moving, and the light is too dim for larger predators to hunt the cat. 3 in the morning sits close enough to that dawn edge that the ancient clock inside your cat begins to wind up. The hunting brain switches on, and in a house with no mice, no birds, and nothing to chase, all of that predatory machinery has exactly one warm, breathing, available target. And this is where it gets strange. Because the cat does not just wake up. It sleeps in a pattern called polyphasic sleep. Dozens of short cycles instead of one long block, like yours, which means all night long, your cat surfaces from sleep, scans the room, and drops back down, again and again, while you are unconscious for 8 hours straight. You experience the night as one black gap. Your cat experiences it as 40 separate shifts of watching. To understand what the cat is doing while it watches you, you have to understand what its brain does when it sleeps. And for that, we go to a French laboratory in the 1950s. A neuroscientist named Michel Jouvet wanted to know what animals do when they dream, so he did something that changed sleep science forever. In the cat's brainstem, there is a small region that, during dreaming sleep, paralyzes the body. It is why you do not act out your dreams. The body goes limp so the mind can run wild safely. Jouvet disabled that one region in cats, and then he watched them dream with their bodies switched back on. The cats stood up. While fully asleep, eyes glassy and unseeing, they stalked across the floor. They crouched, they arched, they pounced on prey that was not there. They hissed at enemies that did not exist. Jouvet was watching. For the first time in history, the literal content of an animal's dream play out in the muscles of its body, and every single cat dreamed the same thing. Not food, not comfort, the hunt. Cats dream of stalking. It is the deepest, most repeated program in the feline mind. So now, return to your bedroom. Your cat surfaces from one of those hunting dreams in the crepuscular window with the stalk and kill circuit already warm. And the nearest large, slow breathing shape in the dark is you. Here is what the cat is actually measuring while it stares. Behavioral researchers who mapped feline pre-attack behavior found that before a cat commits to a strike, it locks onto 3 specific signals in its target: the rhythm of breathing, the movement behind the eyelids, and the rise and fall of the throat. Those 3 readings tell a predator one thing above all else: whether the target is asleep enough to be safe to approach or awake enough to be dangerous. Watch what your cat does at 3 a.m. through that lens. It is sitting on your chest, the single best vantage point on your body, to feel your breathing directly through its paws. It is staring at your closed eyes, the exact spot where it would read whether you are about to wake. It is watching your throat. These are not the behaviors of a confused pet. This is the same checklist, run in the same order, that the cat's ancestors ran on a sleeping rodent 30 million years before your house existed. But, and this is the twist that makes it bearable, there is a fork in that program. In the wild, the checklist ends in a pounce. In your bedroom, it almost never does. Because over 10,000 years of living alongside us, the domestic cat learned to run the entire predatory study, and then stop one step short. It reads your breathing, your eyes, your throat. It confirms you are alive, asleep, and safe. And then instead of striking, it simply decides to stay. So what is it deciding? That is the question in the title, and the science gives a genuinely unsettling answer. Every time your cat surfaces in the night and studies you, it is rerunning a threat assessment that wild cats never get to relax. In the wild, sleeping next to anything larger than you is a gamble with your life. The decision a wild cat makes at 3 a.m. is whether the shape beside it is predator, prey, or safe. Your house cat has inherited that exact decision, and it makes it about you every single night, dozens of times. The reason that silhouette at the foot of your bed has always felt wrong is that some older part of your own brain recognizes what is happening. You are being assessed by a predator. A small one, a friendly one, a predator that has decided thousands of nights in a row that you pass. But make no mistake, the verdict is not permanent. It is recalculated every time those eyes open in the dark. Your cat is not staring at you because it loves you or because it hates you. It is staring because at 3 a.m. in the crepuscular hour, with the hunting brain warm, the most important thing in its world is deciding, again, what you are. And here is the comforting part. The part that should let you sleep. The cat chose your chest. Out of every safe, hidden, defensible spot in your home, it climbed onto the chest of the largest animal in the house. A wild cat would never sleep on top of a bigger predator. When your cat does that, it has run the full calculation and reached the conclusion no wild felid ever reaches, that you are not a threat, that you are, in fact, the safest place in the territory. The stare is the predator. The decision to stay is the trust. One last fact, and it reframes the whole stare. When your cat watches you in the dark, it is not seeing what you would see. Cats have a layer behind the retina called the tapetum lucidum, a biological mirror that bounces light back through the eye a second time. It is why their eyes flash in the dark. It gives a cat roughly 6 to 8 times your ability to see in low light. At 3 a.m. in a room you experience as pitch black, your cat sees you in clear, detailed, colorless twilight. And it is not only watching. In near total darkness, the cat is reading you through senses you do not have. It feels the temperature of your breath shift the air. It hears your heartbeat slow as you sink deeper into sleep. It registers the tiny tremor of your eyes moving under the lids and knows precisely the moment you begin to dream. So while you lie there certain you are alone in the dark, you are, to your cat, fully lit, fully audible, and completely readable. It is watching a version of you that you have never once seen yourself. The cat at the foot of your bed is not a confused little animal that cannot sleep. It is a finely tuned night instrument, fully awake in a world you are blind and deaf inside, running the oldest program in its mind, and deciding over and over to keep you. So the next time you jolt awake at 3 a.m. and find those 2 eyes fixed on your face in the dark, do not look away. You are watching the exact same moment a wildcat lives 1,000 times in its short, dangerous life. The study, the assessment, the decision. Except your cat has reached a verdict no wildcat ever reaches. It studied the biggest predator in its world, learned every rhythm of your sleeping body, and chose to climb on top of it and close its eyes. That is not a cat that cannot sleep. That is a cat that decided you were worth being vulnerable next to. The stare was never the threat. The stare was the cat doing the math. And every night, in the dark, it runs the numbers. And every night, it comes back with the same answer. Stay. If this changed how you see the animal at the foot of your bed, hit subscribe. There are facts hiding inside your cat's most ordinary habits that will keep you up at 3 a.m. all on their own. See you on the next one.